Okay. And happy Monday. Last Monday and the last women's meditation of 2021. I'm grateful to have been able to hold this space this year. I'm also grateful for y'all showing up this year. I know we started off, I think, kicked it off in May with the online Instagram or the IG lives doing this, and then switched over to this portal, this Patreon portal. So thank you for following me here in this space. Hopefully, the way things are looking, I may be able to host and facilitate this in a public space, in person space sometime coming up. But I will keep y'all posted. Okay. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get to it. And I was shuffling the cards earlier. A card that came out, I think, is perfect and in divine timing for just bringing this year to a close and also guiding us into our future in this next season. The Right now is the time, with it being winter, a time of incubation and time of introspect, retrospect. And with this being the sign of Capricorn right now, it's also kind of that bookend that closes this last chapter as we release and let go. When we let go, surrender, things come to a death in a way, then we surrender them back down to the earth, right? Most of the time, plants, people, animals, those kind of things. And so Capricorn is an earth sign, so we are going to just ground out and release all the happenings of this year. Focus on what needs to be let go of. And then with Capricorn season kicking off the first 2 weeks of 2022, and it being that earth sign, it's also a good time to start planting those seeds of what we desire, focusing on the structures, the forms that will uphold and uplift that and create a strong, stable, fertile foundation for our dreams and desires. And then 222 for 2022 comes to the number 6, which is about balance between the spiritual and the mental, or balance between, or not spiritual and mental, spiritual and physical or material world. It's also a balance between the mental and the heart, the emotional. And I think it's also, sixes just represent more of the embodiment of your spiritualness, your spiritual being coming forward, coming into fruition in the material world. And so with that being said, tonight's message is one of divine passion. So this says, be honest with yourself. What is your heart's true desire? So we'll just check in with that. We'll lean into that and see what comes up. So that being said, go ahead and take some nice deep breaths. Maybe allowing your eyes to gently close as you begin to arrive spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically, energetically in this space. And just noticing the sensations going on within. To shift your awareness from all that's going on in your space, around you, outside of you, to that which is happening within. And from point just above your head, moving down, noticing, just observing where you are in your thoughts. Allowing those thoughts to just flow through the mind. No attachment, just observation, just noticing your thoughts. Noticing how you're feeling. Noticing the sensations within the body, how you feel in your body this evening. Sending that breath and love to any areas of tension or areas calling for your attention. And just taking that moment to settle in, feeling yourself becoming not only physically still and centered, but emotionally, mentally, and spiritually as well. All aspects of you coming into alignment, to balance, into harmony with one another. Drawing all of this energy in, offering you a unique experience. Catered to and created for you and by you in this moment. And then on your next breath, simply with the power of your intention, coupled with the power of your imagination, begin to expand your awareness, your consciousness, so that beyond the parameters of your home space, beyond the limits of your city, your state, country, this earth, and allowing your imagination, your awareness to stretch far out into edges of the universe, becoming one with that divine feminine source of creation, wisdom, guidance, intuition. And then when you feel that you've expanded and opened yourself up to a comfortable, safe space, just take a deep breath and allow yourself to just relax. 3, just allow yourself to be. Here, now, in this moment, just breathe. Eventually, you'll allow the mind to fully open. From that divine feminine source, this infinite source, we can connect to at any moment, at any time, in any place. She begins to pour into you her divine essence in the form of golden light. This golden, divine, healing, calming, soothing, yet powerful light begins to take up space within the mind, allowing it to expand as it moves down through the body, rolling down the face into your neck and shoulders, relaxing and releasing any responsibilities for this moment. Just relax, allowing your shoulders to drop and opening up space for this light to move down through the arms and into your hands. All the way to your fingertips, reminding you that you are the beholder of infinite light because you simply exist and have called it forth. You'll bring this light down into the heart space, allowing it to radiate in every direction from your heart, illuminating the passions, the desires that you have for yourself. The intuitively inspired action steps and wisdom that comes from this heart space begins to speak to you. And you allow this wisdom to fill every other part of your body as it flows down through the belly and fills the hips. You'll feel the energy of creativity, creation, expanding through you and eventually overflowing down through the legs and into your feet and your toes. And perhaps you envision or see, sense yourself held within this sacred space, a golden ball of light that surrounds you, letting you know that you are safe. You are loved. You are provided for. You are worthy and deserving of all the goodness this world has to offer, simply because you are here. Your soul has chosen to be here at this time, so allow Spirit to support you in this human experience. Allow it to bring you more ease in this experience, more grace, and just breathe. Allow anything that's been pulling the mind or the heartstrings just fall and flow down into the earth. It's as if the core, the center of the earth is a magnet that pulls all heaviness, all old energies, the mind, the heart, spirit, and body to it. And you find that your body relaxes a little more. Any pain, any symptom, any feeling begins to soften, becomes at ease. And as the earth receives all of these energies as she's drawing from you that no longer serve you, it is healed and transmuted with unconditional love, turned back to its original source. So there is no harm in letting go or releasing. We're simply creating space to receive. So take a moment and think, feel, define what it is that you are choosing to release, let go of. So we bring this year, this time to a close. What are you choosing to leave behind in 2021? Create space for your heart's truest desires to come into form in this upcoming year. Maybe you break things down into categories, or perhaps you just know off the top of your head certain things that you are specifically leaving behind, releasing, surrendering, letting go of. What chapters are being closed? What chapters are you closing? are some of the things that you can just bring acceptance to so that you can allow yourself to be free, to move forward, more passion, more clarity, more confidence? Maybe on a spiritual level, you choose to leave behind any opinions or judgments or directions, rules of how your connection to Source should be or look like. Maybe mentally, you leave behind self-doubt, opinions of others, obligations, any beliefs, mental blocks, self-judgment, self-loathing, self-sabotage, negative self-talk. It's time to let go. Feel, breathe, and be free. What are some things emotionally that you are willing to leave behind this year? Any uncertain relationships, one-sided relationships, any old feelings, maybe letting go of needing closure, and that is the closure itself. Are there heart? Are there doors within the heart space that need to be adjusted, need to be maybe closed, not long term, maybe just temporarily, so that you can hold the sacredness of your heart closer, deeper within, and open the heart space up, and it feels emotionally safe in those spaces, in those places, in those people that hold your heart in a space of safety. Maybe physically, there are some things that need to be released and let go of. Old items within your home just taking up space. Things maybe even within the workplace that are just taking up space. Your car, closet. Physically, maybe it's also letting go of not having a routine so that you can create one. Not having any form or structure, and creating one. Or perhaps there are some forms and structures within your physical world, your everyday life, that need to be released and recreated to benefit your future, your desires, the intentions you have for yourself, time ahead. Are there things energetically, financially, that need to be shifted, changed, revisited, released, redefined? What are you willing to release so that you can create space for your heart's true desire? Check in. Know that you are safe. Safe to be honest with yourself. Safe for you to be clear and honest with yourself. If you just listen to the sound of your heart, to the sound of your breath, by listening to the heart and your breath, you'll recognize the rhythms, your own internal drumming. This beating, this drumming, this rhythm forever connects you to the source, mother of all creation, and to Mother Earth herself. You see, these rhythms can't be faked or forged. They are organic, raw, natural, and eternal. What part of you have you been trying to ignore? Think about it. Notice what comes to mind. Notice how it feels within the heart space. What part of you are you trying to ignore? How long have you been ignoring this part of you? Are there multiple parts or is there just one? Feel it out, see what you notice, and just breathe. This is a space for discovery and exploration, not one of judgment or expectation. insight, the guidance that you receive is feedback. And then you take that feedback and you do what you need to do with it in order for you to truly thrive and vibe at your highest. What part of you has been perhaps overly concerned with the opinions of others or pleasing others to the point where it's actually become a detriment to hearing the sounds of your own rhythm, your own truth, your own voice? Breathe. It's time to reach out. Maybe visualize or sense yourself, maybe physically. Extend your arms out. Embrace your dreams. It's as if you are a magnet. What would that feel like? To magnetize your desires to you. You see, your dreams, your desires are just as much a part of nature as the trees, flowers, birds, bees, moon, stars, sunsets, diamonds and gemstones. All of this is a part of nature, and so are you. You are an expression, an extension of this earth and of spirit. Don't your own dreams and desires deserve the same respect that you afford and gift everyone and everything else that you love? Notice if there was hesitance or resistance to that question. Or was it a spontaneous yes? Or a firm no? Somewhere in between. Do you feel, do you believe that your own dreams and desires are worthy of the love that you give to others? Breathe. Allow that feedback, that information to take you deeper into yourself and ask yourself, why? Why are my dreams and desires worthy of the same love, if not more, that I offer others? Listen. Breathe. What if you allowed yourself to love your dreams and desires as much as you love any and everything else? How would that feel like? Try it on for size and see what you notice. How do you feel? Listen to your dreams. Listen to stirrings in the heart. It's when you do so, when you choose to do so, they will activate powerful eruption of passion in your life. Do not be afraid of your own passion, because what inspires you will propel you naturally and excite you as you move in that direction, as you begin to create space for your intentions and desires to come into form. See, when you honor the wisdom of your heart, you dance in rhythm and harmony to that of life, and in that way you feel truly alive in all ways. The meaning of life is simply to give your life meaning. What is or what are your heart's truest desires? List them all. Whether they are big, small, everything from just resting the rest of this evening to wishing for world peace, healing, more life. What are your heart's truest desires? Know that they are valid, they are significant, they hold weight, they are important, they deserve priority, seating, table that you build not only for yourself, but for others to bring value to as well. various meanings and interpretations for tonight's message of divine passion is to make sure that your career matches your true interests. Now, understand that may sometimes be a big jump. It may bring uncertainty, doubt, fear. That's okay. That's all feedback. The question is, what are you going to do about it? How can you utilize that fear? How can you utilize that uncertainty? How can you maybe break things down into baby steps? Maybe do a little research. See what's possible. Believe that you are possible. Your dreams are possible. And if you need a little extra divine assistance, you can simply ask Divine Mother, Divine Father, Spirit, Source, Goddess, how can I match my career with my true interests? Of course, you must know what they are first. What are your true interests? Maybe it's time to take a class, start a hobby that really excites you, just to bring more passion, more aliveness, more fun and spontaneity, optimism into your life. When we allow ourselves to step out of our comfort zones, we actually begin to explore and discover aspects of ourselves that we normally would not have access to. It's like trying to heal your relationship issues being single, which is possible, but it is in a relationship where your triggers, fears really show up. And this is once again similar to stepping outside of your comfort zone. So how can you start that class or hobby to excite you? Do something new. Change jobs. Maybe it's time to go on a wonderful trip. Invest time and money in manifesting your dreams. Be more discerning about who, how, where you expend your energy, your focus, your time, your money. They are all currencies that you invest in something. But is the return of value to you? Does it appreciate? Do you appreciate it? Give yourself permission to go for it. Unapologetic, fearless, brave, playfully. Maybe it's time to start a new business. Maybe your desires aren't found in a particular field, and that is the feedback for you to build it yourself. There's a reason why you have the vision, the inspiration. Maybe you are the one to build it. Imagine taking that leap of faith, building an entity, enterprise, building, generating wealth, a legacy, simply because you took that leap of faith, found a niche, created something that others needed too. Make an honest assessment of how you spend your time on a daily basis. How do you spend your time? How can you prioritize things so that you can not only list your priorities, but spend more time and energy in them? In doing so, keep yourself in alignment, that of your heart, your mind, higher self, your intuition. The more you invest in you, the greater the return. By leaps and bounds, miracles, magic, tenfold or better. The more you invest in yourself, the greater life becomes, the more passion, the more purpose, and the more pleasure you begin to experience. More wholeness, authenticity you experience. More joy, love, zest for life. So take this time, this final days of this year, to truly reflect on the seedlings that need to be planted for this next year, and invest the time and energy nurturing them, nurturing you. As you watch your garden of wealth bloom and grow, holding all the beauty, all the potential, all the possibilities that you could ever imagine. When you receive this, when you receive this message, when you receive all of your heart's desires, ease, grace, it's my intention for you or better. And so it is. Slowly and gently, as you take a deep breath, beginning to bring some movement to the body as you bring your awareness back into this moment, back into your body. maybe taking a nice little stretch or rolling through the neck, shoulders, giving yourself a hug, showing yourself some love for being here and showing up, not only this evening, but all the evenings that you chose to show up. It was not for me, it was for yourself. Because deep down, you love yourself. That's why you're here. Thank you. And Deepen. All right, so got a little emotional in there. So tonight's message, Pele, was brought to you by, well, Pele, but she's a Hawaiian goddess of volcanoes. She has dynamic strength and is sometimes misunderstood as most powerful women are. Okay. She shows us, though, that fire can purify and release us from the old to make way for the new, igniting our passions. So without fire, nothing would change. Facts. Call upon Pele to help you get in touch with your true passion and to charge up your motivation and excitement. All right. Pele will help you feel everything on a deeper level, so be unafraid of taking action to manifest your heart's desires. Okay. I think that is pretty good insight because I think I was in meditation. I was telling you if you needed clarity or something, I think it was on the making sure your career matches your true interests. I know sometimes, that could be a big jump. I mean, you might be, I don't know what you might be doing right now, but who knows? But with that being said, not only can you ask spirit, like, how can I make this happen? And then allow spirit to show you the answer to that. But you can also, if you, vibe with this energy of Pele, a Hawaiian goddess, you can most certainly ask her to just kind of tap into that type of energy now that you know she's a Hawaiian volcano goddess, fiery. Ask her, feel that fire energy burning within you, and connect to that energy. This to me very much speaks to multiple chakras, actually. It feels like it's the crown chakra for connection to your higher self and insight, inspiration, but also how you see that, when you ask, what is your heart's true desire? Like sometimes we have a visual of what that might look like. And then obviously throat chakra is about self-expression, communication, creating things, and using your voice. So, asking yourself, being honest with yourself, what is your heart's true desire? Obviously the heart chakra, because we're talking about our heart's desires. Uh, and then your solar plexus is about your autonomy, your individuality, how you allow yourself to show up or take action in the world, but also how you distribute your energy. And so that goes into how we invest our time, our energy into that which we love, that which truly supports us, helps us thrive, or that which does not and can be detrimental to our overall well-being. The message today also corresponds to the sacral chakra because it's about passion. It's about connecting to that which helps us to just feel alive, and life comes from this area, whether, you have those feminine organs still there or not is not a question. If you have a female body, you hold the energy. Okay, period. So regardless, life literally flows through there as a woman every month. Okay, so you are physically a container for bringing things into life. That's your purpose. That's your job. What are you creating? Be intentional with it. And definitely root chakra is about bringing those things into fruition, materializing them, realizing them, and also having the resources, allowing yourself to receive the resources to bring that into fruition. Sometimes we have an attachment to building something of struggle and strife and working hard and perseverance and pushing through. Wouldn't it be nice if you just said, hey, this is what I really want, universe, and all the components just kind of seem to appear? I mean, that's kind of pretty much how I live. So if I can do it, I know you can do it. Okay. So um yeah, that's pretty much when I allow myself to open up my mind to greater ways of thinking and just being like creative in my thought process, saying, you know what, I don't know how it's going to happen. We'll just see. Then things happen, things show up. I've done that several times with classes, courses, even manifesting spaces for classes or services, things like that. I just put out there, literally, I make my priorities, list for our priorities, whatever it is that I need. This is what I need, spirit. And then from there, that's sad to me, I know. We'll see what happens. I don't know. That's an optimist. So, but things seem to just happen, right? So, but yeah, it's a good space to be in, recognizing what your priorities are, and then letting spirit show you how that could be a possibility. And then you can say when you get the answers, be like, yeah, no, I'm good. But at least you know, right? At least you know. So, or you can say, oh, I like this, but maybe a little bit something different, and then you got the inspiration to kind of tweak it a little bit. So, the collective message that I will leave you all with this evening, before we go into the private readings, is it really feels like for 2022, there's going to be a bigger gap between high and low vibrations. That's kind of what I'm seeing is like a little split. Excuse me. It doesn't really go like this. It feels like the split is more like here and there. So prioritize your time and energy, because there might be some things that can energetically you might see in the world going around you, or just with people, friends. It might be personal, might be interpersonal, might be collective. But I definitely think there'll start to be a bigger gap between what they call the third and fifth dimensional energies. But remember, there's that fourth space. Okay, so we got the fourth dimension up in here. So third dimension is going to be like heavier and heavier. It's going to become a little bit more mundane, especially if your soul, your spirit this lifetime has chosen to ascend or to elevate. They say, it's the chosen ones who do that. The chosen ones are the ones who choose to follow their calling. That's it. It's no, I don't want to say like no one's special, but we are. We're all special. But the chosen ones are the ones who choose to act on those inclinations of spirit, those little meanderings of the heart, those little whispers in the wind. Those are the ones that choose to follow that, those signs, those answers, that intuitive feeling. The ones that choose to follow that are the ones who are chosen, because they've chosen themselves. Okay, so with that being said, you're going to see that there's going to be a decline in some things. There's going to be also an elevation. However, that gap, it's not going to be just like this empty space in between. You have the third dimension here, fifth dimension here, and the fourth dimension is what's going to get wider and wider. So there might be kind of it's like a spiritual dystopia. It's just kind of like it's just you're kind of just branching out and just but it might be a little more fluid than just real clear cut. But that's what it feels like to me for 2022. And which is, like I said, represent numerologically, it's number 6. So 6 can go 2 different ways, right? People see 6s, 666, it's like, oh, that's devil, or 666. If you have an elevated mindset, you might just say, hey, that's just bringing more awareness to the spiritual and the material world. I would say it's more, if you're in a tarot and stuff, it'd be like the temperance card or the devil card. That's what it is, the devil card, because we just talked about, 666 and the devil. So there you go. It's Capricorn season. They're the devil, the tarot card. So we're all on track here. But yeah, this is a time where you will see, I think next year there will be a decline in certain things. And if you are ascending and elevating, you might find that some of the mundane stuff is going to get heavier and heavier because your soul, your spirit is calling you to a higher level, a higher vibration. And it might be a little uncomfortable because you might also feel like you're losing your damn mind and going crazy. I've been there. So, hey, if you ever need someone to talk to about that, I've been there before. Okay. I think I've had 2 midlife crises already. So I'm pretty experienced in them. And, there's other things going on, but that's kind of what I'm feeling. That fourth dimensional energy is really about duality. So you might see a greater duality happening in things. It might seem a little bit more extreme in a way. But don't be in fear, because if you're here hearing this message, all that, it's for a reason. So you're being prepped, okay? You're giving a little cheat sheet, a little cheat code. You already know what's gonna happen. So when things start to go, you can just be like, oh, Kisha told me this already. So cool, I'm gonna just ride the highway and take the high road. All right. I saw, I didn't know it was going to be coronavirus necessarily, but I did see it about a year or two before. I had 2 years. Spirit is going to correct me, like, you saw 2, you a bit of only girl. But 2 years prior to coronavirus happening, I knew that. Someone asked me what transitions or something. It was like a Uranus and the sign of Taurus, and what would that transit look like, and I just closed my eyes when they asked me and channeled or, did my psychic thing. And I said, well, I see a map, like a regular map, and I was like on the east, which would have been Asia. It looked like it was like static and stuff coming and just spreading and all this kind of stuff. And it was interesting because before that I had a student who was in one of my intuitive development classes, and I was asking her to draw something about what she saw, and it was interesting because what she drew looks like what they show the COVID-19 like molecule or bacteria or virus to actually look like, that ball with the little spikes things coming out of it. So she actually drew that. She's an oracle herself, but I was like, that's kind of what those little static balls look like, and I knew there was going to be a socioeconomic impact, as well as something that would hit home for us. I didn't know that meant being quarantined to our home, but I knew it was going to have a socioeconomical, a global impact, but then also it was going to have health stuff. And what I saw with the health stuff was like fogginess here and some chest respiratory stuff. So here we are. Okay, so when all this shit hit the fan, I was like, well, guess I'm just gonna mask up or whatever and do what I need to do for myself, because I already knew this was coming. So it's kind of a heads up. But with that being said, no fear, right? Just awareness, and then move and prioritize yourself and what you need to do for you, not only during this time, but also in the next year. Okay. That is your reading, collective reading. We'll go into the personal ones now.